Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary friends. Welcome back to another episode of Actors with Issues, where we bring you quick and casual chats with the stars of TV, film, and Broadway. As always, I'm your host, Juan Ayala. Thank you for tuning in. Today's guest is an actress you know from Animal Kingdom, A Million Little Things, and Valor, and now starring in the latest ABC family drama, Promised Land. Grab a glass of vino and please welcome Christina Ochoa. Christina, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Hola, hi, so happy to be here.
So before we dive in, I just want to congratulate you and the entire cast and crew of the show on this phenomenal series. I got to watch the first two episodes already, and much needed representation on television. It is few and far between that we get a fully Latino-led show anywhere. So seeing this show come to fruition, I'm so excited and so happy for the masses to see it. So
Oh,
congrats, really.
you and me both, Juan. Like, honestly, thank you for saying that. And I think that comment is the one that resonates the most with the entire cast
Mm,
because as actors, we've all gotten the breakdowns and part of a cartel or the drug dealer or the drug dealer's girlfriend or,
yeah.
a lot of stereotypes that this show manages to really break and show us a diversity within that group that
Mm.
is so wonderful and rich that that's what we love the most.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm so excited for the masses to see it.
Oh.
And yeah, so let's go back to your audition. So it's been almost a year since the pilot was first ordered, and I'm sure the casting process was very quick and rigorous. So what was that process like for you, especially given the state of the industry with COVID and everything?
Um, yeah, so honestly, it was a Zoom meeting with Matt Lopez, our creator, and
Mm,
then Adam Kolbrenner and Veronica Rooney, who's our casting director. And it was really a meeting to talk about the character. It wasn't so much a read at first. And I really wanted to know where they wanted to take this character and what they wanted to highlight from her
mm,
the most. Because again, this is the idea of playing a Latina on camera and then not being able to break some of the molds felt like a missed opportunity. And luckily, every answer they had blew my mind. It was so
mm,
much better than I could have anticipated. And the fact that they wanted to show this, Stanford, MBA, highly educated mom, wife, and CEO of this winery and kind of really dive into what those things meant, not just
mm.
label her as that. To me, that high level competence that they wanted to put in her was such a draw that's really what convinced me to take on this project because everything they said was music to my ears.
Mm. And your character, Veronica, is poised to run the company should anything happen to the patriarch of the family. And her brother's not too excited about that because he felt that he should have been next in line to run it. So what's that whole power struggle been like to explore?
Do you have siblings?
I do. I have a big sister.
You do? I
Yeah.
don't know what your relationship is like. I have two, but my analogy for kind of how this family runs, and I will always say it, is I will take a bullet for you. But if you touch my phone charger one more time, I will be the one to kill you. And there's a little bit of that, right? We're family first, but that means that the boundaries are probably much easier to cross
Mhm.
sometimes. And, that was something that Matt and our writers did not want to shy away from. And that was the kind of play who's going to get the, kind of like coveted deep down daddy's approval
Mm,
and
mm,
respect. We see it in other shows, and in this one it was very important to do it in a way that kind of really resonated with our community and kind of
mm.
like what is it like in a big like familia, with
Yeah.
that chaos. So yeah.
And with Promised Land, there's drama, there's power struggle, there's romance, love of family, and with the two timelines, the immigrant experience and that rise to success, the American dream, whatever that may mean, to whether it's an American or an immigrant coming to the U.S. There's so much to explore. So, what are you hoping the audiences take away from all of that?
I it's funny because every single one of the cast members, not a single one of us was born in this country.
Hmm,
And the immigrant story and the immigrant plight, another one of the things that this show I think is really trying to do is show that diversity and
mhm,
perspectives of what that's like. And that mattered because not a single one of us had the same experience. And showing that was part like at the forefront of the storytelling. I think the fact that we are showing something that is very human first, It's universal and yet very personal, especially to our group, socially, but not necessarily making it super politicized is really big,
Mm.
so that everybody can kind of grow in empathy with these plights and these journeys. That's very much something that we take a lot of care with, and that, bravo for Primetime and ABC taking that risk of showing something that is probably very uncomfortable for a lot of other people to see,
Mm.
and yet such a reality, and we have to look at it from a human perspective.
And looking back at your whole journey, I was going down your, we've seen you on so many shows already. And I was going through your IMDb credits and saw like the co-stars on like Modern Family, Nurse. And I was like, okay, so, she started like so many other artists getting those co-stars, then guest stars, recurring, series regular, just sort of following that trajectory. So looking back, is there anything that you learned in your career over the years that you wish you'd known earlier? Hindsight's always 2020,
Ooh.
of course.
Everything. And I'm sure if you asked me in 5 more years, I'd also realize how little I could even tell you now. I think for me, the biggest thing is uh, find your tribe. And I say this, without trying to tap into, I don't like the phrasing of it, but it is
Mm,
about finding the people that you resonate with, both
mm,
creatively, professionally, and having that support system is so important. There's so many odds against us as actors in general. Finding the right coach, finding the right reader for your self tapes, for the environment, roommate, day job, everything,
yeah.
kind of to really support your success is so crucial and important. And your commitment to that should be unwavering. And I think at the beginning, I was just kind of like fumbling, just like everyone else in LA, trying to see what I could do and how I
Mm,
could get my foot in the door. And then it wasn't until I found that group and that collective and that, kind of like inner circle that I
mm.
actually got a foot in the door, because I had more of a sense of self.
Gotcha. And also looking back, or if you could give your 13-year-old self any advice, what would you tell them?
Can I curse on this?
Absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
I would say just a richer life leads to richer performances.
Mm,
So, really, I think that imbuing my personal day to day with experiences that have nothing to do with watching other actors perform and like really reading a script, but actually going out and having experiences, I feel translates on camera.
mm.
So focus as much as possible on enriching that life.
Also looking back, because with representation, sometimes it's hard to see ourselves represented on in media, in film, television, theater, whatever, and even in looking in the fashion industry and ads, all of that. Who is someone from the Latinx community who has been a big influence on you throughout your career?
Oh man. So our my first number one was on a show called Matador, Alfred
Mm,
Molina.
yeah.
And Fred was the biggest influence, on kind of how to carry yourself on set. And he would say things like, look, just don't complain when you're on set. As an actor, we are so catered to. And there's the crew members who are working longer hours, and they are doing twice the amount of work a lot of the time for half the amount of pay. And, like obviously they're there to support you.
Mm,
So make sure that you don't take that for granted. And he was like such a huge influence, still is. I revere everything he does, both creatively and as a person, as a human first.
yeah.
He's a big influence.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
It's yeah, absolutely. He's total class act. Just seeing what he's done on
Yes.
stage and film and everything, like just really, really influential. And so in closing, in 10 words or less, what advice would you give to a young actor?
In 10 words or less. Watch people, not actors playing people when researching a role.
Hmm, I really like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Watch the reality TV. Watch, people in your neighborhood
Yeah.
and draw from
Yeah.
that.
I feel like people watching is such a great just character study
Right?
for really anyone. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Christina, thank you so much for coming on the show. Where can folks find you on Instagram if they want to give you a follow?
Oh, man, it's at Ochoa Cristina.
Awesome. And you can all follow us on Instagram at Actors with Issues. Give me a follow at Juan Ayala Official. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening and catch new episodes every Monday. And don't miss the premiere of Promised Land on January 24th. I'm Juan Ayala. This is Actors with Issues, and we'll see you next week.